Hello, lovely people. Trust you're all in good spirits. So I came across this very intriguing piece of news last week and wanted to see if you guys are familiar with the term FOSO, that stands for fear of switching off. Well, reports suggest that nearly 59% of the UAE population finds it challenging to reduce their phone usage even when they are away. So here is where I can be of help. Why don't you take a break from your phones for 30 minutes every Sunday and join me on your favorite weekend show, ZeeConnect? So if you are ready, let's jump right in. We are in an age where artificial intelligence isn't merely a tool, but a driving force reshaping our lives and work. It is a realm where innovation thrives on fertile grounds and the unachievable transforms into reality. Join us as we delve into a conversation with Abhijith, an AI expert whose wisdom will broaden your horizon and ignite your enthusiasm for the remarkable potential AI offers for our future. Abhijith, welcome to ZeeConnect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here, and it's a pleasure.
So, Abhijith, we are here to talk about a very important topic that I think the world is talking about these days. It's technical, at the same time it's something that is taking over the world and people's minds, and we can't help but talk about it and discuss it, and some people who don't even understand it want to know what it's all about, and that of course is artificial intelligence. But before we get to that, Abhijith, I want to know about you. Let's tell the audience about yourself. What do you do for a living?
Right. So, my name is Abhijith. I'm a petroleum engineer who works with AI for sustainability. And as weird as it may sound, it's something that I've been driven by in the last couple of years, which is impact. And I believe artificial intelligence is one of the domains where we can make significant impact in the coming years. Mm-hmm. And I think over the course of this talk, people get an idea on how they can do so, whether it's somebody with minimal exposure to, let's say, technology, to a CEO, and I'd love to speak more about it.
Great. Abhijith, you were also offline telling me that although artificial intelligence has been there forever, for many, many years, it's only in the last couple of years where it's become like this hot topic, you know, and we just see it all around us, and it's a part of every discussion, every event that we go to. It's always being discussed by brands, by big organizations. So tell me, was it something like something you've been studying for years now, or was it like a move that happened for you also a couple of years back?
Great question. So primarily I was a petroleum engineer for a significant part of my life, and until I got into, let's say, research in 2016, that's when there was a transformative shift for me. At that particular point of time, I was working with energy companies to optimize their processes, and I realized that with the right AI tools, I can do things that would take months in a couple of hours. And that was the first step of the progress. And then I realized that there was a lot of processes everywhere, especially in the energy industry, that are inefficient. And then I started addressing those. And we found that we were able to, look at it from a sustainability perspective and an economic perspective. So not only was it good for the environment, we were also trying to save money for the company, which was a no-brainer for majority of the energy companies to come and say, hey, maybe this is something that we need to consider.
Honestly, for me, I don't know if there are other ways in which I am using AI in my life, but very actively, there is one way which I am definitely using it, and that is ChatGPT, which is one of the apps which has become increasingly popular over the past few months, I feel, ever since it was launched. And I was very curious and intrigued to know what it holds for me. So just tell us how this whole thing works.
So when it comes to generative AI, or anything like ChatGPT, what they basically do is they do have a set of data that they are trained on, and I want you to think of something very simple. It's just mathematical equations that will, based on the data that you have and based on what it's trained for, it will give you the right set of input.
Correct.
So generative AI, you can use from text to text, text to image, text to videos, and there's a lot that you can basically do with it. The other additional fact that I will say is everything that is generated is not based on something that exists. So it's something that is brand new, written uniquely for you.
Yes.
So let's say I'm generating an image of a flower vase with the right set of questions or prompts, as we call it. it will give you an image that has never been created before. And how does it know that? Basically, there is a set of data that was trained on, it knows what it is, and then it is called fine tuning. There's a lot of technical terms I don't want to scare you with, but what it essentially does is it knows exactly what it is that it needs to generate, and then it gives you that. So for example, if you have an Excel, you have columns and rows, we didn't need to tell it what it was. We just had to tell it very specific questions saying that I know there is some error here and there, and I have a good idea that it's going to be here.
Yeah.
And within 15 minutes, it
You
did
didn't have to specify anything about it. You didn't have to key in something for it to look for it in that. You just had to say it just like you're telling a person sitting next to you, I think there's an error, and then that system just found it out.
Exactly. And that's where I wanted to lead into. With these technologies, I don't think you need to be an expert to understand anything anymore. So it's like I have my own expert that I can look into, I can just at least talk to get a better idea. I wouldn't call it a silver bullet saying that it's going to replace everything that is there.
Yes.
However, it is going to help me a lot in a lot of cases that, let's say, domains that I have no idea about or previously accessed.
So Abhijit, while we still continue to talk about the pros of this really amazing invention, tell me about how this can really be used across different maybe industries, different organizations, big brands.
Another excellent question, and this might take a while. So for me personally, I don't think AI is restricted to any particular domain. Wherever there is a very good case for efficiency, you can basically use it. So whether it's medical, for example, where you deal with a lot of data, you might be able to automate a lot of routine tasks that would take ages manually to do it.
Right.
It can be something as simple as just searching a particular patient or a particular diagnosis in the health record system, and you can look into, let's say, predictive analysis. A lot of these AI tools are really good at what they do, and a lot of let's say hospitals that we know about are already using this. So it's not something that's relatively new, and I believe medicine would be one of the first frontiers where you would be able to see the actual impact of it.
Right.
I believe there were also cases that where some models were able to predict I believe it was X-rays, if there was abnormalities with a success rate of 95% or more, and when compared to the human, they significantly failed. So this does mean something. So I'm not saying that you have to replace it, but at the same time, if it is an expert, it's a good thing for you to just QC with it and just say where this is leading on to. And then for things like, let's say, other than optimization, sustainability is something that's close to me. So I work with water management, emission reduction, and what we realized that there was always room for improvement, like with any other company or industry.
Any industry, any function.
Any function, even if it is. So content generation is another thing that I think we can tie back into.
Yes.
And I would like to say, so I'm not a creative person. I am absolutely horrible at it. My sister's an artist, so every time I wanted something for my technical publications, I used to go to her and ask her, can you draw this for me? And then sometimes we fight, and it takes like a week for us to get back on one particular image. Now, since Midjourney and a lot of these generative image generation tools have come out, what I now do is I get an idea of what exactly I want, and then I send it to my sister. Okay. That saves at least a week for me in terms of the process.
Yeah.
She has a better idea of what I have in my mind, because as an artist, you might have different people. We might have different visualizations of the same object.
Yes. Tell me, as maybe a layman who wants to maybe create something and may not be an artist, but is it possible to kind of convert a person's feelings, what they are feeling, into an artwork through AI?
Right. Again, excellent question. This might be a bit tricky to answer in very simple terms, but I believe there is an extent to which you can do it. With the right prompting, if I ask an AI model what I want, it will deliver exactly what I want, right?
Okay.
So if I'm able to articulate my expressions in a way that is understandable by a model that is trained in a way that it understands, then 100% it should be able to.
The other day I was reading a post, I think Amitabh Bachchan has actually mentioned this, that he was actually sitting in a room filled with around 40 cameras around, and he was asked to do some kind of expressions and do some voices, and they said these are all samples that we are collecting, and that's it. There was no scenario, there was no scene that he was shooting, but he said this is actually going to be used in an AI model. I don't know how, but probably in my absence, it's going to create scenes which I have not shot myself, which I have not been part of. I've only given my voice and my expressions to them, and that's it. They are going to create a full Amitabh Bachchan in that scene, even though tomorrow if I'm not alive. It's to that extent that AI is now gone, you know, and it's a little scary at the same time, because maybe a person is still alive and it can still be used in a manner, you know, where the person is not needed himself anymore. Because I've been seeing posts on even social media about like AI models of an Alia Bhatt or a Deepika Padukone. I mean, and they are really true. Like I did see a video of maybe Hrithik Roshan or one of these actors, and I was like, wow, when did he do this? And then I realized when I saw the caption, how is this AI model of Hrithik Roshan? And I said, okay, then you can really create this.
Now that, so for me, I think there are multiple aspects to this. So let me break this down. So to the answer, the first part, what is happening in terms of, let's say the film industry is you do also have the opportunity for digital immortalization now. So if you are a person who wants their legacy to continue on, even after your, your basic entire film life, you can still do that. And that's something that is available right now. And this has been happening in the industry for, I would say, at least in the Hollywood counterpart, they've been doing it pretty well for quite some time. And now there is a lot of ethical concerns which we'll circle back to. But it is also getting tricky in that, in the aspect of, what is real and what is fake, and
yes.
what do we have the right to create, because all this data that's there outside, people are just using it to create whatever they want, and
yes.
It's a very thin line. And this is where I believe we, like general public, should also have a say in with the government and with the regulatory body, saying that eventually you need to have the right transparency in place,
yes.
for the right privacy measures, for the right ways that we can basically utilize these tools for the best of, let's say, societal benefit, and in a way that makes sense for everyone.
Yeah.
And in a positive manner.
Can I tell you that the banking customer service, if it's an automated response system which also takes in your responses and based on that gives you the options and then finally tries to resolve your problem, it never happens. It doesn't work so far.
Right. So that's poorly implemented AI. And in 2 years, if you have the same conversation, it doesn't improve, I'll personally take it up.
Well, thank you so much, Abhijit. This has been a very, very insightful discussion, and I know we can go on hours talking about it, but it's been so interesting talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure, and I'd love to keep conversing about this anytime you want. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Panadol has recently embraced the AI trend by bringing an innovative and tech-driven campaign, The Art of Release, to the vibrant city of Dubai. As a reliable partner for pain relief, Panadol invites you to experience the sensation of freedom from pain through a captivating and engaging hands-on journey. Join me for this truly extraordinary experience at Mall of the Emirates, where you get the opportunity to immerse yourself into a world of creativity and also have a chance to win some fantastic personalized gifts from October 6th to October 19th at Walk Cinema's foyer at Mall of the Emirates, and from October 20th to the 22nd at the Walk at JBR. See you there. I will take you to meet a rock star whose songs are a permanent fixture on our party playlist. But after a short break, stay tuned. Welcome back. He is an artist who never fails to deliver chart-topping hits. And whenever his music plays, we can't resist moving to his tunes. I am referring to Juggy D, the Indo-British artist who has been a trailblazer in shaping the urban desi music genre and is a force to be reckoned with. We had a fun conversation with this musical sensation on his recent visit to Dubai, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Hello once again, Juggy.
Hello.
Welcome to Dubai.
Thank you for having me.
The last time I interviewed, I asked you a lot of questions about your journey and everything,
Yes.
your story and all of that. So I'm not going to ask you those again.
Cool,
They're going to be
cool.
different set of questions.
Wicked.
So get set for that.
Cool.
But before that, I want to know, you've just done your performance here at the
Yeah,
Coca-Cola
yeah.
Arena. How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. The crowd was amazing. you know, that buzz of them singing along to every song, word for word. Oh my God. Like, there's no better buzz than that in the world, honestly. And like, I'm sober. I'm completely sober, right? So this nasha, you can't beat this nasha.
Something else.
You know, it is actually something else. And you know, I just want to say namaskar, salam, sat sri akal to everyone that's watching and everyone that came to the show. You know, if you're watching this right now, respect.
And I really, really want to know from you, Juggy, like you said, people are singing songs word for word. All of your songs are like that. What is that one key to making songs stick in people's minds, and that too for decades?
I don't know, man. I can't answer that, but I must have been good at writing songs back then, and even like now, like, you know, we've done a lot of songs, new stuff, which we've been dripping out. We've released 2, which people are loving, and I've got a string of other songs ready to release as well. So, you know, there must be something that we've done right, that people are still loving the songs and singing along to them word for word. I think if I had to give some kind of indication of how that could have happened, is the fact that I keep my Punjabi very simple. And it's not Tet Punjabi, it's very easy to understand. And that was one of my main kind of objectives. When I was writing my Punjabi songs, I was writing them for Indian kids, Asian kids that were not connected to their culture in the UK. Because when we were growing up, they had nobody. They had no one to look at and say, yeah, we're born in the UK, and that's who represents us, because they're cool. Because anything else from before that was really Tet Punjabi, which they didn't even understand and they couldn't tell their friends about. But the moment they had this fusion of urban Indian music with some English and some Punjabi, they were like, yeah, that's who we are. That's us, you know? And they could understand it. Soni ni soni tere naal main nachna. Everybody can understand that.
True.
You know? So a lot of my songs are very, very simple to understand. So I think that's what helps, and it sticks in their mind.
Tell me, Jay Sean is performing right now, and I mean, you've collaborated with him on so many projects over the years and even now. Tell me about your bond with him.
Yeah, so, you know, we started, me and Rishi started, you know, big up my bro Rishi, who gave me my first break on Nae Gina. I've been in the industry for 21 years now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had done 2 tracks before I met Jay, and Rishi was working with Jay on Dance With You. And I came and put that Punjabi flavor on it, and it took it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, you know, since then, we bonded from that one song. And we toured the world for like 5 years together, and then went off on our separate journeys, because we initially started as solo artists. We never planned to be a group. We never planned to, you know, have this this journey with each other. It just happened organically, and that's why I guess the songs did so well then, you know. And our bond has been connected through that music until now. It's like, you know, people are loving that vibe that we bring together. You know, he has his career, I have my career. Both very successful, both been in it for over 2 decades. And but when we come on stage together, there's a different energy. There's a different vibe.
Yeah.
And it's good to still see that.
Yeah, the magic that you both create together on stage. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Juggy, as an artist who's done both independent music and mainstream, do you feel there's a certain kind of apprehension and uncertainty when it comes to doing independent music? Do you feel some kind of fear?
Well, you know, there's a fear with every song.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, with a mainstream label or if it's independently. You're always going to have that fear. But I guess, you know, with music, it's like songs are like babies. You put 110% into them, you push them out when you feel like you're 100% happy with them, you know, and every song is made like that. If I wasn't happy with it, I wouldn't put it out. And then it's in, you know, it's in the audience's hands, it's in God's hands, you know, whatever happens with it. As long as we give it 110%, that's the most we can do, you know. And if I am the only one listening to it in my car and I am the only one that loves it, then so be it, you know. But somehow we continue to make music that people love and that people enjoy. And it's like, you know, they say, like, you know, recently somebody said, I love the fact that you've not changed your style.
Yeah.
When I want to hear a Juggy D song, I go to Juggy D, you know, because you've had that vibe throughout your career. It's not like you've jumped on the bandwagon and thought, okay, this is working now, let me do this. sometimes we do have experimental songs. It might be in the body of an album or something like that, which is fine. But generally, if you go to you hear a Juggy D song, it's going to be happy, head bop in, and make you smile.
And you instantly know it's Juggy D.
That's nice to know.
So,
Good.
which actually, I mean, you touched a very good thing, which brings me to my next question too, which is, I want your perspective on how sometimes artists just let go or compromise on their personal and distinct styles that they have just to maybe run after commercial success or popularity?
I don't think it works. And I think that's when the decline starts happening. And I don't want to mention any names, but you'll see in the industry, certain artists will have a certain style. The moment they change their style, everything dips. And you're like, yeah, kuch baat nahi, maza nahi aa raha. And that's because they've changed it completely to what people loved about them.
Yeah.
The moment you change what people loved, they're going to go, no, but I didn't come to you for that.
True.
I want to hear that song, like that style. Now you've gone to do that style, but that's what they're good at. And if I want to hear that, I want to hear them, not you. So it's like that. And sometimes, and that's where like an artist can get it wrong. And fortunately, I stick to my vibe, and I try and stick to the same kind of Juggy D style that I've been running for the last 2 decades. And they say if something's working, why break it?
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Keep going, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But finally, you and I know Punjabi music is like loved all over the world. How do you see it on the global music landscape?
It's only going to get bigger and bigger, man. I just have to say one thing. Jagjit at Coachella has just put Punjabis and Punjabi music and Indian music on the map in a next level way. And we did it 20 years ago with Dance With You. We crossed over to India, and all of these people were our fans. Buddy is a great guy, and I remember seeing him early in his career, and we bumped into each other. Buddy, I thought a bahut bada fan and stuff. And so many artists, so many, Badshah bro, he's showed us so much love. Everybody, all of the industry, that has started after us, they all show us so much love and respect for what we did at our time. Now it's time to respect the people that are doing what they're doing in now's time. So big shout and hats off to all the artists that are making moves and flying the flag for Punjabi desi music.
Superb, and we are not going to let you go without you singing 2 lines for me.
Absolutely. Okay, so brand new song features myself, my bro Rishi Rich production, Jay Sean and Yash Narvekar. ਅੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਜੋ ਮਲਾਈਆਂ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਹੀਰੀ ਨੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਜਾ ਜਿੰਦ ਜਾਨ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਹਵਾਲੇ ਕਰ ਦੂੰਗਾ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਨ ਜਾ ਹੋ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਹੋ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਣ ਜਾ
I don't even sing.
Oh, there you go. But you knew the rest of it. Yeah. Brilliant. Nice one.
Yeah. Time for a quick break. I will see you back in a blink. Stay connected. Welcome back. Brands of India, presented by CMAI, is a one-of-a-kind event that harmonizes commerce, culture and creativity, representing a significant milestone for the Indian apparel industry. Supported by the Embassy of India and Texmas, Dubai Textile Merchants Association, it is set to be the Middle East's largest brand showcase, bringing 250 leading Indian apparel brands on a global stage. Stay tuned for the highlights from the event's press conference.
I want to congratulate CMAI for this initiative in Dubai. I think it's an excellent precursor event to the final Brands of India, which is going to take place in Dubai in November. Dubai undoubtedly is the best place to enhance exports, and this is perhaps the right time in the context of CEPA signed last year. I think a great opportunity, and I hope Indian apparel industry is able to make the most of it.
came today to this press conference, which is in Dubai happening, and a lot of people coming from India for the exhibition, textile exhibition in Dubai. I wish them all the best, and we want to see them not only textile, we want to see all the electronics and different items. I wish them all the best. Thank you very much.
We have factories which have got the capabilities, the production to do a routine normal process, okay? But we do not have the factories which would have a process which would be more sustainable, okay? So hence the cost of that process at the moment is high, but over the period of time, as and when more and more awareness will be there, that cost will come down, okay? We have to understand one thing, we have to take care of this environment. So cost is something, but at the same time, it's the responsibility of the government to make the manufacturers more aware. Since last few years, all the governments have taken the initiative that they want to do something for the industry. And once the initiative comes from the government, all the infrastructure, all the common facilities centers would come in place, and they would enable everybody to take advantage of the same.
Time seems to pass by quickly when I'm in your company, and it's almost time for me to push off. But before I go, there's something important that I'd like to mention. Now that the weather is getting better and the event season is in full swing, make sure you stay tuned to our social handles for all the thrilling updates about all the exciting events happening in your city. Get ready to watch, win, and be thoroughly entertained. That's all for today. Take good care of yourselves. See you soon.